welcome. As we greet you again, another month has passed and we are on the December of November.
That's so true. And for those of you that might go, what is Sri talking about? Go back and watch the November revelations.
But here we are as we're beginning the month of December, which is a continuation and a magnification of what has begun in November 2014.
You know, that's so true. And one of the things that we talked about was that, what have you done with November? How did you look at that hesitancy versus passionate action? What are you doing with that beautiful creative bubble? Are you in there harnessing all those energies? Or have you kind of been on the outside going, wow, what's happening? Because a lot has happened in the first half of this November-December bubble.
And you know, we want to remind you that you are a co-creator, and the question is, are you creating consciously? Are you creating with intention and alignment with essence? Or are you creating from a, let's just call it a refracted standard of perception? Because create you will, nonetheless. And this opportunity that we're in right now, we mentioned November, December as kind of to be considered as a single energy, and yet it has a flow. And as we move into the calendar of December, what we're seeing is a refinement, that the fruits of this time are coming forward with greater clarity. That you have that opportunity to be aligned in creation and to be acting in the world versus being what Clear is calling outside the bubble, which is kind of like the world acting on you. It's one of the discernments. Is we all are sharing this reality, yet what are we really sharing? there is a superficial commonality, and then there is the internal richness of your evolving capacity. And that's what we're talking about, because we're going to be sharing a little bit about chakravastu and on how that's ripening. This paradigm is ripening in this coming month and setting the stage for the next several months.
Yeah, really, really.
And Vastu, many of you may have heard of as a word that describes the sacred geometry of forms in India. It has its roots back at the time that Christ was born.
And before actually.
And it certainly refers to the shape of the temples and the roofs and how they hold and manage energy and work with the energy in alignment with the people. Chakravastu is a form of that same science that brings it personal into the chakra system of the human body as well as the chakra system of the earth. Remember that we are all generating energy. We are all being gifted and outflowing energy, and we qualify that energy based upon which chakra is radiating or how they dance together.
I love that. It's the Divine Leela, and November, December is already one of the first Divine Leelas, isn't it? Because it's this 1 month energy. And remember that with the opening of this great chakra Vastu energy, in its form, it's about balancing, keeping all these energies that are present in balance so that you can maximize the benefits and receive the blessing that's being heralded to us right now. Now, we mentioned last month that November started a 5-month period. That was November, December, January, February, March, which is, as we're referring, the escalator to the next 7 years. It's that escalator to ascension, that 2015 to 2022 window, and it's large. You want to talk about the little bubble we're in right now? Wow. Wait till we hit that 7-year bubble. Yeah. But the key is this. The actual planetary Vastu opening started in November for the month energies. And November was very much about root chakra. It was very much about Earth. However, these next 5 weeks are an overlay where we're going to start seeing these, I guess I would call them microcosmic experiences week by week. Now, this is a lot of content. It's much more than just this one video can share with you, other than we want to give you what's going to be happening week by week, and so that you can be aware of it to, again, maximize that, create. This is about creation and flow, and about deciding, am I going to hang with my limiting beliefs, my doubts, and my fears? We're going to talk about that. Or am I going to step into my co-creative, buoyant, flowing capacity? Because by the time we hit January, everything has changed. I mean, everything has changed. And don't just say goodbye to 2014 yet. This is a big month, and there's a lot happening. And so much so that Shri and I are doing an entire radio show dedicated to this on November 30th. So if you've not caught our November 30th radio show at Shri and Kira Live, just go to shriandkiraradio.com, hit the archives, and grab that show. Or go to any other our affiliates and watch that show, because we're going to really dive into the depth of this. And if you don't know about the planetary chakra vastu, why this is important, it's time to know. This is ancient, ancient, ancient information that really nobody else is talking about right now, yet it's one of those things that has to be talked about so that we can come together and harmonize, expand, and maximize the gifts that are being given to us.
You know, many people use the word ascension,
Uh-huh.
and it carries it carries a powerful connotation that has some variations depending on who you chat with.
Mm-hmm.
The one thing we want to offer to you today is the recognition of how can you lift if your foundation is not clear and without issues.
Right.
And the foundation I'm referring to is your chakra system. Let's get up close and personal here. Because your foundation begins at what is shared as the root chakra, the first chakra in the human primary chakra system at the base of the spine. Your root chakra is located right in your pelvis, which is your place of stability. It's your place of, am I safe in the world? Am I willing to live my divinity while in form? Do I feel content here?
Yeah. And you know, the whole month of November was about that as we entered into our bubble experience. However, let's give you the week by week. We're just going to quickly give you the dates and the energies so that you have an overview for bringing us all the way through to the new year. So starting right away with the top of December, from Sunday, and these energies really do go kind of Sunday to Saturday, regardless of where you are on the planet, the dates are the same because we have a rotating planet. So November 30th, Sunday, November 30th through Saturday, December 6th, this is the primary. This is Earth. This is what Shri was just talking about. During this week, we want to pay attention to the Earth. What is the Earth showing us? What are the events that happen on an earthbound level that month, that week? Now, bear in mind, we've just come through a whole month of this as well. Like we mentioned, these next 5 weeks are overlapping that. So again, that first week is very much about Earth, or as Shri just mentioned, root chakra. On a personal level, where are you feeling stable, right?
Mm-hmm. Because when the first chakra is in its authentic flow, we know that all is well because we took birth. I deserve all of the fruits of the earth. I deserve all of the abundance of this world because I am born. I'm part of it.
Can you wrap around that, my loves? Because here's why you want to wrap around that during the first week of December. Because the second week of December, which is Sunday, December 7th through Saturday, December 13th, is all about water. Now, this is about our infinite nature. And remember that in addition to it just being the second week of December, in the month sequence, all of December is about the infinite flow. Now consider that and take that one in, and also look at the many different holidays and celebrations that happen in December.
So these elemental energies are associated with these chakras, and as we go through this rebuilding process, as we go through this magnification process together, it's very useful to revisit consciously the qualities of these elemental energies. So we just talked about the earth as your foundation, and as we move up in the area associated with the second chakra,
the water,
the watery, the emotional energy, the ability to feel emotionally content as well as physically fulfilled, and the fulfillment that extends through the other bodies and other qualities.
And this is going to be big because along with it being the second week of December that you're going to want to be looking at what is the effect of the water, what is water, how is water affecting me. Bear in mind that this element, along with being the second chakra, is also very heavily governed by the moon. So you're going to see that because the entire month of December is carrying this infinite creation energy, and because the second week of December is mirroring that, this is going to be a big week for flow, for infinite energy. Pay attention to what's happening with the moon. Pay attention to your own creative nature. Extremely important because the third week, which is December 14th, Sunday, December 14th to December 20th, fire. This is huge. And so you see how these weeks are building? And so this is the week of fire, and this is very important because it's our third chakra, power and power struggles. You're going to see a lot happening on the planet, and how are you harnessing that in your life?
So if we're stable at our foundation, if our emotions are balanced and healed, because the week too is a good opportunity to restore even greater healing energy into your person and your planet.
Yes.
As we continue to magnify, or as this column of energy of Shakti rises, and we get to the third chakra, understanding of energy, we're dealing with the fiery element. Now this is the outpouring element, right? This is the element of combustion and transmutation and movement. Where there is heat, there is creation.
And to remember, and the Essene have given us a beautiful teaching in our Lost Books of the Essene series, where they say, do not weep when something is burned in fire, for it is truly being released to where those who have the consciousness are ready to receive it. And so we're going to be seeing some fiery energy that third week of December, which of course brings us to a real powerhouse week. And I think this is really serendipitous this year. This next week in December begins on Sunday, December 21, which happens to be the solstice on the Sunday, initiating this energy. And then, of course, that brings us through Saturday, 12/27. So you've got a week where we open with the solstice, Christmas is happening during that week, and this week is all about air. I mean, really take that in, because the air is also the energy of the heart center. And so your heart is going to be invited in many different ways, as will be the heart of the earth. Remember that there's this beautiful synergy of the human form coexisting with our planetary form and the chakra vastu energies. Remember, the reason we're talking to you about this is so that you can harness and balance. If we balance ourselves as the planet is balancing, then together we are in harmony. If we ignore our own balance, or we ignore the planet, then it's going to be a kind of crazy, chaotic moment. And again, hesitancy or passionate action.
So just consider for a moment the most poetic and symbolic understanding of air, because air has the capacity to touch everywhere. And so it is like love, is it not? And so this energy of the fourth chakra, the green energy of the heart, the ability to reach out beyond form and surround form, is really quite wonderful. As we remember this rising energy, this refinement and this healing opportunity that it presents, we're going from the coarser foundational energies of earth, moving into the watery, moving into the fiery, moving into the air.
And then
as we live,
the New Year week, okay, which begins on Sunday, December 28th, and takes us all the way through till January 3rd. So as we enter into the new year, it's all about throat. The throat chakra, and the throat chakra is very much about the ether. Now what's fascinating is that in Chakra Vastu, the ether is actually represented as a wormhole. All the others have specific geometries of squares and semicircles and triangles. We're going to talk all about that on the radio show. Listen to this show. However, this energy, this where are you coming in the new year, right? This last week, because then January, it's all about the sixth element, which is spirit, and we'll talk all about that at the end of December. But as you are moving through that week, that New Year's week, where is your truth? Have you been able to stabilize, lift, and bring all this together? What has happened in December that may have shaken you up? Look at the serendipitous events of December with these weeks we're giving you. That's why we're offering you these weekly timelines, because how you interpret the events of each week is the gift of your awakening. It is your time of awakening. It is your time of enlightenment. And that's this November. It was about stepping into the co-creative bubble, releasing hesitancy, and putting into action, passionate action, the truth of your divinity.
You know, this is indeed a powerful time, and our purpose in sharing this video with you is to help encourage you, to offer you the reassurance that you can maximize the benefit of each and every flow that we're in, because we just presume you'd rather have more joy. You'd rather have more.
We'll just hold on.
We'll just presume that's what you're about. Because as we lift, when our foundation is at rest, meaning we don't have a lot of unresolved issues in those lower chakras, when we have a nice foundation, we're able to lift. This comes back to that word ascension. And as we lift, we're able to see with the ether, through the etheric energies, through the veil of this world.
For those of you that are UFO watchers, watch the last week of December. There's going to be some fun sky activity because it's all about the sky and the opening. So just give yourself those gifts.
And enjoy yourselves. And you know, speaking of enjoying yourselves, I just want to mention that Kira and I have published a calendar of events for 2015, and we're welcoming you to consider joining us here in beautiful Antigua, Guatemala next March.
Yeah.
It's the time to make that decision.
Remember, that's the month, right? And we're offering some amazing discounts that you can still take advantage of in December. So yeah, just go check it out. The Avesa Quantum Immersion and the Cosmic Ascene Journey.
Very powerful, very affordable, and very timely.
Yeah.
It's really time to take a look and take a breath and go, yep, that's for me.
There is. And you know, if you're not sure, if you say, hey, I'm not sure, then dive into our telejourney. Shri and I are offering a beautiful 3-part telejourney in January for a whopping $22. Join us, because this is a very powerful course where we're going to be teaching the ancient science of Shakti exchange, RRST, and really opening up something. And we're really doing this for as minimal as possible. It's workbooks, it's recordings, it's us live, it's you live with us. And take advantage of that. And last but not least, I just want to mention, we, as of this moment, announced we're taking a journey to India in October 2015. We are very excited about. We barely announced it, and we only have 4 spots left. So if you're interested, check it out, and maybe you want to join us in India. This was another thing that came together magically and perfectly. December is a time to put yourself in action, to balance the chakravastu energies. But remember, my angels, the chakravastu energies are still ripening over the next 5 months. It's just that these next 5 weeks are an amplitude of energy that's being showered on the planet. Hesitancy or passionate action. Creating within the bubble or kind of being whipsawed outside of it. These are choices that every being on the planet is making, whether they're conscious of it or not, and December is glorious.
It is indeed. And as you trust your path, may you remember that we all go through evolutionary steps, and that it's our intention to lift that will carry us through those momentary wobbly points where our brain is uncertain where we're going. Remember that evolution gives you greater clarity, and with clarity comes greater compassion and the ability to act wisely. Namaste, beloved.